Kyle Pedley, does that give you goosebumps watching that video?
Oh, a little bit. It's a little different than watching it that way.
I bet. Is that the first time you watched the video from the weekend?
Yeah, from what Jason had there. That was the first time I seen that.
Yeah. I got right up in your grill there, Pedley, with my camera. So.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
He got up in a lot of people's grill over the weekend, I noticed.
Yeah. I had a couple people say to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I've been around tractors and trucks before. I'm not worried." Like with Corzine's headers, my eyes are still burning from the alcohol because I got right up on the drill on there. So I learned my lesson the hard way. I kept saying to my wife on the way home, "Ron, why are my eyes like so tired?" And she says, "Because you inhaled a lot of alcohol and diesel this weekend." So.
Yeah, I bet that's true.
Well, Pedley, Kyle, yeah, way to weekend, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for coming on the show, man. Appreciate it. We were trying to get all the back-to-back winners from the weekend. You're one of 6 that was able to accomplish that over the weekend. Have you ever won the Rock before?
We won the Rock last year. We placed 2nd and 3rd last year to win that, but we've never won at Rock Valley in the 15, 16 years we've pulled. We've never won there.
So you went from just the best overall finish last year in the Rock to back-to-back wins this year in the Rock. That's
Yep.
There's guys that'll compete for years and years and retire from pulling and never get that accomplishment done. I mean, it's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Let's say we've been trying for years, and the whole new the pro stock thing we started 4 years ago. It's taken us a few years to get the full grasp on how to make that all work.
Yeah, I'd say you're right there, man. The tractor's running awesome. So how many folks do you have on your crew that go with you to the pulls?
Well, me and my brother own the tractor. I told him he should come on tonight, but he didn't want to. So we have full bore farmer. We haul in the trailer with us, the 4-1. So the Van Gelders are with us all the time. Jeff helps us a lot, work on the tractor. And then family, friends, that take turns. Some guys that work with us in the shop come along and help. So it's a pretty big team effort.
As an announcer, Van Gelder's name is just one of those names that's kind of cool to say when you're announcing.
Right. You got to make sure you put an emphasis in the van on that.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool name. So what's the plans this year? You're running points with PPL, or are you just kind of hitting bulls, hit some here and there?
We're I registered the other day for Outlawed membership, and I don't know, we're going to see where the points go from here, see how close we get. I know we're a few shows behind, but see how many we can make it to. But pretty much the rest of the year it'll all be Outlaw. We hooked at Mound City just early because I didn't feel like driving all the way to Texas. But there was 3 tractors in Texas and 3 tractors in Mound City, so it really didn't make much difference. So
yeah, it was hot down there too. It was probably a little hotter down there than it was up this way.
Yeah, I could believe that.
Yeah, well, awesome. I'm glad you're coming on and hooking Outlaw the rest of the season. That's
we've
got quite a few hooks, so hopefully you can keep it up this year and make all of them.
Yeah, we'll be at quite a few more. I don't like to say that the middle of July gets kind of busy with our county fair and our kids showing, so there might be a few of them we're going to miss, but we're going to try to get to as many as we can.
Now, how did you get into pulling? I mean, how did you start?
Oh boy, it was a long time ago. It's like 2001. We bought a old 4240 that we decided to turn into like a hot farm, and we pulled like the Great Plains organization for quite a few years. Then 2006 is when we started Super Farm, and then we went from Super Farm. We ran Grand National 2011 and 12, chased the points, got a 2nd and a 3rd those 2 years in Grand National NTPA points, and then we got sick of traveling, and we switched to 4-1. And then 2014 we didn't pull. We built our new tractor. Then we pulled 4-1 till 18. We had a lot of success in 4-1, and then we decided to go component and make the jump into Outlaw Pro Stock. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm showing you as being 4th right now on the points, and you get drops too. You get some mulligans in there with as many hooks as that class gets. So you could be right there at the end. I mean, I think the Texas boys.
that
Bullfrog
changed the
started out
class.
kind of slow last year and ended up up in the top by the end. So anybody you want to thank? You have any sponsors or folks that help you that you'd like to mention?
Have no sponsors other than just everybody that helps us. Between Jeff in the shop helping wrench, George Byers. We're pretty tight. We own a dyno together, so he helps us quite a bit. We help him. The Van Gelders all together, they're always there to help if we need help. All of our family, basically, it just takes a lot of people to keep one, not even, try to keep two tractors going. It's bad enough.
Kyle, this picture is from 2015. Where was this at?
That was at NTPA poll at the Osceola County Fair in Sibley, Iowa.
Okay.
That was 4-1 class, and I believe I was the last hook, and I'm sure Joel will remember this because he went in front of me and took the lead, and then I passed him up, and for some reason I thought I should put my hand in the air because I won. So he probably remembers that more than I do.
That's funny. I like it. I like that a lot.
There was like 3 hooks in a row that we were first and second between them two tractors. And then we got to Sibley and they tore us all down and checked our turbos and everything. Then we went out and got first and second again. So
Awesome.
that was a good year.
Sibley's not too far from Rock Valley because on my way home, I drive right by the exit, I think. So
yep, it's not very far at all. We had pole there for quite a few years. We kind of helped put it on, but we just couldn't get the crowd. It ain't like Rock Valley where the people just want to come. It was tough, and we just couldn't get enough people in the stands to keep it going.
Mark Ham saying Western Series, Sibley, Iowa.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it was.
He would know. Those photographers know their stuff, Pedley. So.
Yeah, I'm sure they know more than us. I know we had NTPA Grand National there a couple times, and we had some PPL. I just didn't remember exactly which one it was. So.
No, I just went when I worked the show with Ron. It's nice because he does all the talking. I can just go digging through your Facebook and pull up pictures. I saw the first one. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was a good shot there.
Well, cool. Yeah. We have Corzine waiting in the back room.
Yep.
Ron, if you want to wrap things up with Kyle, I'm not trying to be pushy, but I'm going to be the producer tonight and keep the show moving.
All right, buddy. All right. Well, Kyle, thanks for coming on. Congratulations on your back-to-back wins, winning the Rock. And we'll see you. Let's see. Where will I see you? Troy on Saturday or Friday?
It's questionable. We're thinking about it. We'll see how the rest of the week goes.
Okay. So, all right, buddy. Well, hope to see you Friday night. And congratulations once again.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kyle. So I was thinking Corzine can technically say he won both Saturday sessions of the two-wheel drive trucks.
Yeah.
One was super early in the morning.
Yeah, you are correct.
And one was one was normal times on Saturday night. So I'm going to play his video here for you quick, and then we'll bring on Craig Corzine. And it was so cool to have him and the Midnight Motorsports team come over. So here's his pass. I think this is Saturday nights.
On the two-wheel drive side, last night's winner, Craig Corzine, out of Assumption, Illinois. Beautiful Chevy pickup. Heavy under the fiberglass there, calls it rekindled.
Is the good stuff, Mr. Corzine. That is the good stuff, my man. So
it worked out. You probably, if you looked real close, you see the fuel fly right there at the end. That was the main supply line. We got really lucky on that. If that happened earlier in the run, that would have been a bad deal. So I guess rather be lucky than good sometimes. But if you listen real close, our truck sounds a little different than some with those down exhausts. It gives it a pretty deep bellow to it, and she had her tongue hanging out. We had we had our mouth full. Probably helped it. It let it kind of go almost bar for tire speed, for ground speed, almost to a point. And man, it hung in there. And I'll tell you, I had the clutch can off of her today and checking the clutch because it had its hands full, but it worked out. So I kind of hated to get by Jeremy. Jeremy's one of my best friends, and it was because of them that I was there. And he has really struggled with a tire issue this year, and we, however you want to term it, put a set of tires on his truck just like mine. And man, it's brought his truck right around. I was so happy to see him lay down a really nice run there before I did. He was, I think, fourth hook, and I know he was ecstatic because that's the best run he's made all year by far, and me too. It was a good run. It was a good run, so it worked out well.
Yeah, the name on his truck was perfect for when he pulled on Saturday night or Friday night, Saturday morning. The after midnight was very fitting for as late as the 2-wheel drive class ran. But your truck does have a specific like crackle to the exhaust. It's definitely kind of reminds me of Buffalo's Chips. The sound that it has similar.
Yep.
But yeah, that fuel leak. Yeah, that was perfect timing. You could have that bad things could have happened.
Oh man,
if that would have happened earlier.
we had, that was the main supply. We did have a nozzle, a cylinder line come off at Louisville one time, same deal, right at the end of a run. So we've been really lucky on a couple instances like that. So again, I don't know. You just go over stuff and you look things over and you tighten things down and stuff just happens to work loose. But that was more that one there was more from two lines rubbing together. These new lines that we put on these trucks, and tractors, I guess they don't like to rub together too well. And this is supposed to be the newest stuff of Brown and Miller, and it's way better than their older stuff. But still, that's a perfect. It was right where. I had two lines zip tied together is where that thing blew out. So live and learn.
Think, as much as those things cost, that they would wear out that quick.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But it is what it is. So she's already got a new one on. How about that?
Watching that pass we just watched from Saturday night. Have you watched it yet? Besides just now,
I have gone back and watched numerous times. Yes.
You can really hear it hook up early in the run and pull the motor down a little bit.
Ron, I think he said it best when he said it had its tongue out. I thought
she had her tongue out. So we watched the air pretty close, and this is a new setup for me. We had it for Ash in the truck down at Louisville, and it's a new blower, it's a new engine combination, and I'm still trying to I came right out of the box this year, and I was coloring the plugs more than I really like to. So I was really dialing her back. And then we get up there to y'all's pull, and man, we were talking that air, as you can imagine, when you can see your breath like that in the middle of the night, buddy, that's good air. And so we were really conservative the first pass Friday night, and I actually got a little more aggressive, as you can probably tell, for the second pass Saturday morning. And then we kind of went extreme. The air was not that great on Saturday night, and I did not the engine tells you right there that I did not compensate enough. But as long as it is, you're sitting back there, you're like, man, I want to lean her down a little bit, but I sure don't need to burn this thing up either. Yeah. So we try to really be conservative in our tune-up and let the truck do the talking and have enough power. But boy, when you're in a group of trucks like that, you can't play too nice, or else you're going to be back, because everybody's there to win, and understandably so.
That Friday night performance was pretty impressive. I have to say that.
Thank you.
Because you went 365 and change.
Yeah, he was 366 the first time, I think. Okay. Ron.
Reset the sled, and then you opted to go last. And 23 passes went down that track, chewing that track up. And then you ended up winning at like 356 on the last hook of the night, which I thought was pretty daggum impressive.
Did you see Dustin Corliss's comment, guys? Because he's the one who got beat on Friday night. He goes, I know how Jeremy felt getting passed up.
Well, there's two sides to that. I made an okay run or a pretty good run the first pass Friday night, but I made changes. We definitely made some changes. Changed oil in the truck just to get her cooled out a little bit. Even though a night like that where the air is cool, still the clutch and everything holds heat in the engine pretty well. Yeah. So we like to get her cooled out pretty good, and so we did that. And but so I felt like we earned it coming back last. But that's also a testament to how fantastic a job the Rock Valley crew did in making a track that I felt like really didn't matter too much when you hooked. And that is, as everybody knows in two-wheel drive pulling, that is a huge feat to make it. And we always talk about that it really doesn't matter how good the track is. We just ask that the track be consistent. Well, It just so happened that was the best outdoor track that I have ever run on.
Wow.
And it had the consistency that no matter when you hooked in the class, you had to have a lot of power. You had to have your A game on, and things turned out how they did. And so I can tell you that Friday night, my last pass, Saturday morning pass, I was as pumped up as any two-wheel drive run I've ever made, just because it's like, wow, I can't believe to come back last, it turned out that good. So I was pretty cranked. There wasn't anybody there to see it, which kind of wasn't as good, but it didn't matter. I was so pumped up that it just made a great run. I was pretty high on life, let me tell you.
There was a lot of people that was like, wow, I was blown away that, you could repeat that late in the evening after all. I mean, the two-wheel drives are known to chew up a track, but
sure. Absolutely.
Pretty impressive.
Absolutely. It was funny to talk to the sled guys afterwards and Kevin and everybody on how they like, wow, that track's pretty good. Two-wheel drive, we've never had that much weight and gear in a two-wheel drive track before. And we still went 360 feet. I mean, that tells you
Great.
that I all the kudos in the world to Rock Valley guys. They did a phenomenal job of making a hell of a track. It was, if I could run on a track like that every night out, life would be good. Let me tell you, that's fantastic.
The interesting fact here, Craig, is, they didn't touch that track Friday. They built that track Thursday night, covered it up to prepare for rain. And at 5:30, the track was uncovered and we went pulling.
Kurt called me yesterday morning, and I really appreciate. I've never had a pull that I've gone to that many people thanked us for coming, and it really makes you feel good, and it makes you want to come back. And I can't say enough about y'all for being accepting to some cowboys from Illinois coming out and running with you, because we had an absolute blast. But Kurt told me that Kevin Bauer told him that maybe they found something there, that maybe getting that track ready early and rolling it and covering it with the tarp, maybe that's the secret recipe for that dirt, and I mean, they did a phenomenal job. I can't say it enough. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was that really surprised me that they didn't touch it and it was still that great. So maybe that is, maybe they've stumbled across something there. But that's
fantastic job. Fantastic job to y'all and you guys in the booth and Jason up there on the line. I told everybody in the interview, and I told some people on the phone, my wife was a commentator for a program for quite a while. And the first thing she told me Friday before we headed to the track to weigh and everything to stage, she was going on and on about how fantastic a job you all do with the television program and the coverage and keeping the distances. And I will tell you, from a Proller's perspective, the app is fantastic. It is fantastic to sit there back at the trailer and know exactly tick by tick what's going on up there and where you are in the lineup and what class is running. Phenomenal job. You guys, I was impressed more than I can tell you. You guys did an awesome job. Awesome job.
We appreciate it. I mean, we're striving, we're trying to get pulling in front of more people, and full pulls, trying to do that as well. And we're trying to expand the audience, for the sport in general, not just for the Outlaws, but for pulling as, the sport in general. So
absolutely. Well, it's all about the fans, None of us can do what we do without the fans, whether it's in the stands or it's live streaming or watching it later or talking about it when they go to town. Anything we can do to help get more pulling in front of more fans is better for everybody.
We have an amazing team. We truly have an amazing team. Everybody knows what they need to do, and it's awesome. It was the best. That's the best we've felt. I mean, just seeing a huge crowd and all the pullers, and it's fun, Craig. Like when pullers from that normally don't pull with the Outlaws come, and that's why when you and Nelson showed up, it was cool and it was fun to mix it up. It's always fun to go pull against people you normally don't pull against.
It is. We talked about when Ash and I talking, we did not have this truck yet. We had the tractor. When BG got canceled, we were pulling an engine off the tractor and we were coming to Wisner. And I think we were probably one of a million going to come out there because there weren't any other pulls that summer. But that was kind of a letdown because I've always heard how fantastic Wisner is as well. And I can tell you, we have full intention of it's back on our radar. And Bowling Green, we have a lot of ties there with my father-in-law's involvement with Make-A-Wish. So we really try to we do make Bowling Green every year. But I really want to also come out and see you guys at Wisner sometime. Is on our bucket list to come out also.
Well, anytime you have an opening on your schedule and, we're pulling your class or your classes, man, your guys are welcome to come out and hang with us anytime.
Yeah, everybody but Dusty Corliss wants you to come, Craig. Everybody but Dusty Corliss.
Well, I had a couple guys ask me, said, well, did you hurt any feelings out there? I'm like, well, everybody was really nice, but I'm sure it's probably some people weren't very happy. But no, it really was awesome. Everybody, again, I've never had a pull where that many people said thank you for coming, and that made the trip all worth it in itself. So
I know, Ron. Go ahead, Craig. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you're good. I was going to tell you, you could probably see the tractor in the background. We're getting ready to get two engines put on it pretty quick here. Parts have been a major issue for my brother-in-law, and he gives us such a great engine. And but I've told him, do not put me in front of customers because he's had trouble getting sleeves and valves and rods and all the things that everybody's having trouble getting. And so we've been patiently waiting to get some stuff, but he's working on two of them now. So we get this tractor set up with two and get a setup we like. I still love the mods, obviously, too. Not many people know it, but we've got real close ties with Wayne Longnecker. The two engines on his tractor were two that we used to run in trucks. Now we've got Vern out there running. Vern Hoosier with you guys. Those two engines on Vern's tractor were my front two engines on my tractor at Louisville Farm Show. We came home, pulled them off, took them to Adam. Adam went through them, and Adam took them to Tim Engler's and put them on the tractor for Vern. And so now we're trying to help Vern get going. And Matt Bartz, he came and pulled with you guys the first time. He had a two-wheeler there. He's got the top engine off my tractor. So we've got a lot of connections out y'all's way. And so I've been wanting to come out and see Longnecker pull for a long time also, and sure trying to help Vern get his tractor lined out. And so it's fun to come out there and, like you said, see different territory and pull against guys that we only get to pull against maybe one other place a year. And so it was great experience for us. Thank you again for having us.
I'm taking notes here. This is good stuff for an announcer here down the road, all this stuff you're telling me right now. Where all these motors came from.
Mark Ham just sent me a picture, so don't leave yet, Craig. And then Mr. Van Beek just jumped on Kurt and says, "Let me be the last one to tell you thanks for coming. Thanks to a whole bunch of you guys for coming." So
Well,
I think he put a smiley face or something on there too. So I'm proud of him for using the emojis. So,
Kurt's using emojis.
I think so. I think he's into the brandy. It's all good.
Hey, that's okay. That's all right.
He deserves it after this weekend. So
for sure.
Here's a great picture from Mark Ham. I love this shot. I think you'll enjoy this, Craig. So.
Yep, that is a good picture. I mean, you can tell when our truck has got the front end like that, and that's obviously Friday night. That's the second pass. Man, look at the tires are wrinkled. The front end's pretty high. Got a lot of people mistake that as blow by, but when the air conditions are like that, that's all steam that's coming out of the crankcase. So yeah, that tells you that thing is on a mission. And the problem is now, I mean, these tires working like that, I mean, and a track that good, and you can tell, the front end's that high, the box is just topped out, and that usually pulls the front end up. That's kind of the deal anymore. Everybody thinks of a two-wheel drive as the high wheelie vehicles, but man, you got to keep the front end down, and that's tough. That's tough because it's such a balance of getting some weight on the back of the truck to get it going, but yet keep the front end down when the box hits you. So yeah, she's locked in pretty tight right there.
Yep. That's a good shot for sure.
Yeah, that's probably the best pass that truck's ever made. That pass right there.
Huh. Well, Craig, you have anybody you'd like to thank? Anybody on your team that helps you? Any sponsors or anything like that you'd like to mention?
Well, I was just the one pushing the throttle. It's I had a guy tell me a long time ago that you're just in the seat and you got to do your job to let the vehicle do its job. And obviously my brother-in-law, Adam Pester, the long blocks he provides us, and Darren Mayer with the DMP blowers, Chad Mayhill with the tires, Modern Machine, Brad and Les Corporal. Obviously the truck looks like it does because of Jeremy Nelson and all his crew at NCP. And Jeremy's a brother of mine. I mean, we pull together, we boat together. The girls were home doing stuff together while we were pulling. And of course, we got to thank, I mentioned it before, we had to thank the girls because they let us take their trucks and go have a guys trip. And that doesn't happen very often. So of course, and Ash and I are in this together 100%. I mean, she is my best friend and we do this together. So it's fantastic. I'm living my best life. It's great. She was home working on softball stuff. The kids are doing that. And we got a steer out here in the cooler for State Fair that we got coming up here in a couple weeks. So life in the fast lane. Plus, it seems like it's what I envisioned World War II to be like. We got airplanes flying around there. We're trying to get fungicide on corn. And so luckily we got some corn to spray now. We got some good rain. So we've got something we're spraying, I think.
Awesome.
So, yeah, life is good, guys. Life is good.
The gentleman driving the after midnight truck, Brady Dutzman?
Yes. Yes.
So right, that is,
yep. So that's, as everybody knows, that is Jeremy's father-in-law, John Mumaw's truck. And Jeremy's married to his daughter, Misty, and that is their nephew. So he's old enough to drive now. He just graduated high school, and he started driving last year in Illinois. And so when Misty doesn't drive the truck, Brady does. So
gotcha. I was wondering about that.
I was wanting to apologize to him for mispronouncing his name for most of the weekend. I kept saying Bradley, and I got a message from somebody that said it's Brady. There's no L in it. So I started wearing my reading glasses for the rest of the night, Saturday night, so I wouldn't mess anybody else's name up.
Well, I'm sure he appreciates the apology, but I can promise you he's been called a lot worse than Bradley. So it's all good. I'm sure but thank you for that. I'm sure.
Especially hanging out with you guys, he's been called way worse than that.
Well, I tell you what, he made a couple what I would consider maybe rookie mistakes, not as experienced of driver mistakes, and so he was feeling it a little bit. So yeah, we give him a hard time, but we tell a lot of people that, man, if you're going to come pulling around our crew and run with us in the 2-wheel drive deal and all our Illinois Mafia, you better put your big boy pants on, because we're going to let you know when you mess up. We're going to be the first ones to tell you when you do good. But we can get kind of brutal at times, as you can imagine, with this crowd.
Jason Gibson says, coming after you, Superman, at Bowling Green.
So here, I don't want to get too long-winded. I know you guys got other stuff going with this show, but it's funny. He says, everybody from day one, our fire suits that Shell provided for us, those guys all start saying that I look like Captain America, because it's a one-piece fire suit, yada, yada. Well, Gibson took that to a whole nother level and started calling me Superman. Well, I'm gonna tell him right now on camera that just for him, he and his best friend gave me a T-shirt with the Superman logo on the front, and it said Corzine on the back. And some of my best runs, it's became my lucky T-shirt. And I wore it at Louisville Saturday night when we won down there, and I had it on Saturday night underneath my fire suit up there in Rock Valley. So
awesome.
He will appreciate that.
That's cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, Craig, thanks for taking the time out tonight, man.
You bet.
Thank all you guys for coming out over the weekend. Everybody appreciated you being there. I mean, even the competition that you beat up on there, they all enjoyed having you guys as well. So anytime you have time and you're not pulling, elsewhere, come see us.
Thank you very much again. I can tell you that we weren't even home yet, and we told the girls, like, you guys would love this place. You got to come with us next year. So as long as everything works out, God willing, I'm hoping that we got 2 rigs out there. We got Jeremy's rig, and then we got our rig out there with the tractor in it too next year. Is a goal of ours. That's our plan, hopefully.
Awesome. Craig, thanks for taking the time out tonight, man.
You bet.
Take care. Good luck this summer.
Thank you again, and thanks for everything you guys do for the sport. Really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Craig.
it. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
You too, buddy.
So we're bringing on next our sponsor of our 3.0 diesel truck class, No Way Man